In room 1004, Benjamin shoots Zernik. Salkov is shocked, unable to understand what is happening, and wonders if they are currently seeing an illusion, and if they are, when did it start and when does it end? Benjamin taunts Zernik one last time before stepping on his head, crushing him to death. He seems surprised Zernik did not have a counteractive Nen ability, and says how using Zetsu is dangerous since it will make your guardian spirit beast disappear too. Zernik, however, is not dead because of his ability, Parallel Future. Benjamin addresses Salkov and tells him exactly the same thing as Zernik did, to testify things as he witnessed them, in case he gets interrogated. This is probably a reference to a Bible verse, since there have also been theories that Zernik represents Jesus Christ in Hunter x Hunter. Benjamin talks about how Zernik was a terrible human being, and that regardless of the succession war, he would have killed him anyway, but now that he has executed him, his many crimes will be exposed in trial. I am unsure who is going to this said trial, Benjamin for executing Zernik, or are they persecuting Zernik for his crimes post-mortem? I don't think Benjamin will even live long enough to see his court date. He says that anyone who testifies regarding Zernik's crimes will have their sentence reduced or pardoned. This might be the chance to see the tattoo guy explaining their involvement with Sarasat's murder if Zernik was tied to that, and perhaps we will get some backstory on how Kurta clan massacre happened too, if Zernik had something to do with it. Salkov is still in disbelief, wondering if Zernik did actually die, and realizes that he can verify it by seeing if Theda's scar has disappeared. Benjamin orders Salkov and Denshin to be detained in the Justice Department, and decides to also go to the Ministry of Justice himself to make it his headquarters, and we saw it happening in chapter 410. We get a flashback of Benjamin putting the last TSK-17 in his boots before he goes to meet the princes who were gathered in room 1001, but the only princes who complied were Tyson and Tubeppa. Benjamin is informed about Rich assaulting Kanjidol, to which Benjamin says that they can use it as a means to arrest Rich in order to rattle the Hunter Association and make a deal in exchange for the search and capture of Shanglei and Lazarus. This is a bit tricky since Kakin has been invited to the V5, making it the V6, and Hunters are on the Black Whale to chaperone Beyond Netero as a mission from V5. So the Kakin guards do not mess with Hunters because they are there from V6's request, but now they are trying to fabricate the truth that Rich was the one who assaulted Kanjidol during Special Martial Law, even though Rich and Kanjidol clashed prior to Special Martial Law's declaration. There are a few ways to prove that Kanjidol is lying about the timing of his assault. For example, Kurapika's dowsing chain, and now that Kurapika is a Zodiac, Shidel might ask Kurapika to expose Kanjidol if she does not agree to Benjamin's terms, but Kurapika's lie detection might not be admissible in court. Cleopatra might not rule in the favor of Hunters, but then again she has a friendly relationship with Beyond, and maybe Beyond does not want Benjamin to win, even though he said to Furikov that it will be a good outcome for him, but assuming Benjamin is not Beyond's child, he most likely wants Benjamin dead. Benjamin is told about Koventoba being manipulated by Shanglei's guardian spirit beast and how he wishes to be detained. Benjamin, however, does not see a need for that, since Koventoba is aware of being manipulated. It means that Shanglei's guardian spirit beast ability is semi-coercive, and Benjamin says that he will get the details from Koventoba himself. Yushohi and Shiamashi found Balsamilko unconscious when they entered the room 1009 and asked questions only he would know to confirm Balsamilko's authenticity. From this, Benjamin also concludes that Hulkenberg can use his soul swap ability while using someone else's body. Balsamilko also wishes to be detained, but Benjamin says he will talk to both him and Koventoba after he has spoken to Tyson and Tubeppa first. Like Rihan promised to Tubeppa, Benjamin asks his guards to leave the room while he talks to the two princes alone. He explains that the reason for declaring special martial law was because TSK-17 was stolen by someone in his private army. When Tubeppa asks who it was, Benjamin explains that it was his private guard who has deep ties with Camilla. He says that TSK-17 won't be used since it can't be deployed without the boots, but he is trying to retrieve it just in case, and that is why he declared special martial law. Tubeppa asks Benjamin why would he even bring TSK-17 on board the Black Whale, to which he answers that it was to combat the dangerous creatures of the new continent. Tyson is relieved to hear that it can't be used and jokes about them getting back to killing each other. Benjamin reveals Kurapika's hypothesis of the succession war ritual to Tubeppa and Tyson, how if there won't be a sole survivor before they reach the new continent. The empire will fall from power, but all of them would survive. He says that all the princes should get together and discuss and consider the possibility of stopping the succession war, but knows that not everyone will agree to that. And that's when Benjamin uses TSK-17 onto Peppa and Tyson. Benjamin forbids them from going outside their rooms and the VIP area until special martial law is lifted, and that until it is lifted they will perform safety checks on these princes. Peppa is skeptical about these safety checks and asks if it is okay for her and Tyson to accompany Benjamin on these safety checks, to which Benjamin agrees. Peppa knows that the fall of Kakin Empire will just result in steady military-controlled government, and since Benjamin controls the military and is closest to the throne, the scenario where no one wins would only be true if Benjamin and Camilla would be dead. I am a bit confused since Benjamin's original lie was that Hulkenberg and Zernik were behind TSK-17 attack, but now he has come up with a new lie where Camilla would possibly have the TSK-17, but it cannot even be used. Perhaps he just said this in order for Tyson and Peppa to suspect Camilla for poisoning them once they will develop symptoms themselves. Peppa might not die from the TSK-17 since her guardian spirit beast can synthesize various drugs and chemicals with all sorts of effects within its body, so maybe she can use it to create an antidote for TSK-17. Benjamin meets with Balsamilko and Koventoba, who don't think they should be accompanying Benjamin since they do not know if they could still be manipulated by the Nen abilities that affected them earlier. Benjamin does not care and says that being a soldier comes with the risk of being attacked by abilities and there's nothing you can do about it, and how he's not an exception. He orders Balsamilko and Koventoba to use Kyo, which allows them to see the have-nots curse in Benjamin's eyes. He explains that he has been cursed by the have-nots, and on top of that he has been infected with TSK-17, and if that wasn't enough, he might also be targeted by Beyond Netero's curse as well, which according to Benjamin is even more powerful than the have-nots curse. He is excited about all the danger and raises his soldiers' morale with the little chant saying that death is their friend. Balsamilko starts to investigate who Hulkenberg swapped bodies with, saying that the feather mark on the back of a person's hand is proof of them being Hulkenberg. Koventoba explains that Sanglei's guardian spirit beast ability makes you confess a secret once you carried the coin for 10 days. His coin's value is still currently at 10, but he is worried what effect it will have the next time the value increases. Kurapika has had his coin for 2 days now, so unless Sanglei dies within the next 8 days, he might also be manipulated to assist Sanglei in some way. Benjamin tells Koventoba to carry the coin without worrying about it, since Sanglei does not have many places to go and he is going to be cornered very soon. Benjamin's soldiers detain Shiyu's and Sha'a's bosses, Onior and Broccoli, under the assumption that they helped Shanglei and Lucerus to escape. Shiamashi informs Benjamin that Shanglei escaped to Tier 2 right before the declaration of special martial law through Onior's room, and that they are currently tracking him. Benjamin knows that all the princes surviving would be a bad ending since it would end the Kakin Empire, but if all the princes would die, that would be a positive outcome. We are then introduced to emergency law, which will be declared when a crisis threatens the Kakin Empire's survival. Emergency law means that once all the successors die, the current king will choose new successors and their priority in succession to become the next king. Benjamin is planning to convince Nasubi to make Benjamin's son the new successor once emergency law is declared, and after all the princes are dead, become his son's guardian spirit beast. And we learn the details of his guardian spirit beast's ability. It is called Bohemian Rhapsody. It merges with Benjamin's Nen after his death and chooses one person among his blood relatives to become their next guardian spirit beast. As soon as Benjamin merges with his guardian spirit beast, he will himself lose eligibility as a successor, just like Kacho Beast. Benjamin looks at Camilla with secret window, knowing that she will die in 13 to 19 hours. Camilla is asking for surgeons and doctors to come determine what she's infected with. We might see Cheadle and Leorio in action soon, trying to cure Camilla. He addresses Peppa and Tyson, and even if he does not have personal grudge against them, they have to die because they are not fit to be a king in his opinion, and that the TSK will kill them around the same time as Camilla. Benjamin then addresses Fugetsu, how he will fake her unaliving herself, but believes that she has already lost her will to live and wishes her to be born into a normal family in her next life. He talks about Oito, how if the baby swap is real, her only punishment will be exile, but if it turns out Wobble was on this boat the whole whole time, and this was all a scheme to win the succession war. She and her whole family would be executed. Benjamin knows that he has to die before Beyond's curse activates, to make sure that the curse won't render his guardian spirit beast ability ineffective, and his mother's Unma's scheme was him to declare a special martial law to bring all the other princes down with him, because Unma knew that Benjamin would not let the princess he saw unfit to rule the Kakin Empire win for the sake of the Empire's prosperity. He says that she will regret the things she's done and will beg for her or Halkenberg's life, a choice she will have to make.